to 5 things that we learned against Manchester United defeating Arsenal. This game was one of the best games that I have watched in a long time from Manchester United. The way we played, the way we sat in our system, the way we decided to play them, and the way we dispatched Arsenal with confidence and the ability to actually play football is what we have to talk about today. And that is why we are talking about 5 things that we learned after defeating Arsenal at the Emirates, might I add, because we definitely were dancing. We were dancing on the Emirates Stadium yet again. We did not do that since 2018, if I'm not mistaken, 2018, when Jesse Lingard was the one doing the Millie Rock, like I said in my previous video. But for right now, let's just enjoy. Let's sit back and enjoy the beauty of what we got to see today. So the first thing that we watched, the first thing that I learned is that Manchester United are becoming a big team, big game team again. There is a fear about it. There is an acknowledge about it. There is an understanding about it. Yes, I understand that Michael Carrick is an interim coach. Yes, I understand that this is just a situation that we are starting now. I understand all that. But Manchester United has always understood that in big games, there is an understanding and there is a fight to go win it. Not to go in there and try not to lose it. Because those two things are totally different. For years, Manchester United's biggest issue wasn't just talent. It was the belief that in elite moments, we fall short. We fall short. However, at the Emirates today, we changed that. It wasn't a fluke. I want to repeat, it was not a fluke, because Manchester United absolutely went and played their football, and it was not a day off for Arsenal. Don't let anybody tell you that it was a day off for Arsenal, because it wasn't a day off. Manchester United just matched Arsenal's intensity, did not shrink under the pressure, played and with authority in decisive moments. That is what we did today. That is what we did today, and it was beautiful to see. When Arsenal pushed, Man United did not panic. When the momentum swung, Man United swung that pendulum right back. And that was the clearest sign that this team is maturing. This team is understanding, and this did not start under Michael Carrick. Let me add this. It did not start under Michael Carrick. We saw it already under Ruben Amorim. Now, it felt like Ruben Amorim held back in terms of the what do you call it? He put the handbrake on and did not let this player have the freedom to actually go and push and get what we need to get in the team. However, Michael Carrick has just released the handbrake, and that is what we are seeing today. The big teams don't need to dominate possession in this kind of situation. We are playing a big game. We don't need to dominate possession. Big teams can dominate moments and win the game. If you have the quality, you can absolutely do it. This felt like a team that expected now to win. We expect them now to win. And that right there is what I'm hoping that they can do for us moving forward. Because when we see that and when we do that, we absolutely have the opportunity to dominate any game of football. The second point is Man United's game management has taken a major step forward. Every single person in that game from the 5th minute in the first half started playing the time. From the 5th minute in the first half, we started managing the time. And that was absolutely crucial to me. It was crucial to me. One of the most impressive aspects of what we did today was the performance on how Man United controlled the game without the ball. It was absolutely key. You get me? We're talking about key improvements, and this is something that you should absolutely write down if you're watching this and you got your pen. Defensive shape stayed compact. We did not get pulled out. Whenever the ball went to Bukayo Saka, Luke Shaw went there to handle it. And if Luke Shaw was not handling it, it was Patrick Dogu that came in to support him. It was a 2v1 in that kind of situation, and Patrick Dogu has the engine to cover. Second was the pressing triggers were selective and not chaotic. It was a very selective way that we pressed. Bruno Fernandes, I give him credit for that situation because his trigger is one of the best that we have. We saw the bench run from Bembo. We saw the runs from Ahmad. We saw the runs for Kobe Mainoo. Every single person pressed the way they should. Players understood when to slow the game down and when to accelerate it. And I have to give credit to Kobbie Mainoo for that. Because Kobbie Mainoo, all that right there is Kobbie Mainoo's doing. When to step on the ball, when to push the ball, when to keep the ball moving with one touch or drop the ball with two touches. Those things were Kobbie Mainoo's absolute job, and we have to give him credit for that. In previous seasons though, United will either sit too deep, right, and invite a lot of pressure in order for us to hit them on the counter. That was the key thing that we'll do in past seasons. However, this game was a little different. Yes, it wasn't a low block, but it was also a mid block. We sat in front of the 18-yard box instead of sitting on the neck of our defender. Those were the differences. And that is why we played a little bit better today. We sat into spaces that Arsenal were not willing to take over. And we won the opportunities. Last season, we would have pressed recklessly, and Arsenal would have beaten our press and gotten the ball to the likes of Odegaard in the middle of the box. And we are in trouble with that. We did not even let them do the cutbacks that they love. We did not let them get the free corners left and right that they love. We did a good job in just making sure that we were doing the things right. And that right there was the crucial part about this game. Now the third thing that we are talking about, we are saying here we now have discipline, intelligence. And United absorbed the pressure, disrupted Arsenal's rhythm, and then punched at the exact right moment. And that is not luck. That right there is not luck. That is preparation and coaching for the most part. Fourth thing, and the third thing that we learned in this situation. Third thing that we learned in this situation is that the team is built to hurt in transition. We know this, and we have known this for a long time. The way Manchester United transitioned from having wingers to having two tens, the thing about the 3-5-3 system is that Manchester United also attacks to push the ball and drag the ball and drive with the ball. The number 10s, the reason why Matheus Cunha was such a perfect role in Ruben Amorim's system is that he had the ability to take the pass and move the ball. And that right there is what he's still doing. That right there is what we are built on. And that right there is what Manchester United have given, and Carrick has given them the freedom to do. It is win the ball, move it forward fast, and attack space with intent. Now against Arsenal, we did not attack the space as fast as we did against Manchester City, because we actually built and moved the ball methodically to the final third. We built it like that, methodically to the final third, got to the final third, and then started attacking, then started making fast passes, then started accelerating the pace, moving the ball to Ahmad, moving the ball to Bremo, moving the ball to Bruno, giving rondos. You understand? The thing about it is that we all did not see rondos under Ruben Amorim. And we have been talking about, oh my God, what is this situation that this guy is doing? Every time rondos, we all know the best things about rondos is that rondos can actually give you an understanding of how easy to get past when you have a tight situation. And that's what we have been seeing. We saw a rondo with Bruno and Dogu and Bruno and Dogu and Bruno and Dogu. And then you saw a beautiful strike from Dogu to absolutely seal the second goal. The second time we saw a rondo again was Bruno to Mainoo, Mainoo to Cunha, Cunha to the back of the net. That right there is what we are talking about. Fast, intentful situations that we can move the players and actually become lethal when it comes to Manchester United. The movement without the ball, the movement off the ball was sharper. The runs were decisive. The final pass was with purpose. And that right there is United choosing efficiency over choosing just willy-nilly chaos, whatever the situation is. And that right is why I am appreciative of the way Michael Carrick has this situation. We all heard the rumors that Michael Carrick has shutting down training time, which was crazy to me, because when I first heard it, I was like, these players need more training. They need more training. They need more on the training pitch for them to learn better. But the key part about that situation was not just that he was dropping the extra times that we spent on the training pitch, but he was increasing the tempo of the training. And that was when I was like, this can actually work. And that right there is the scary part of Michael Carrick's Manchester United. Now to the fourth part is they have become mentality monsters, and it's emerging inside the squad. When you start winning games like this, especially the way we won against Arsenal, going 1-0 down, but still, in fact, when we went 1-0 down, that was the moment that Manchester United started playing the way we expected them to play. They woke up, they started pushing, they started pressing, and they made Zubimendi make a quick mistake. The mistake did not just come from Zubimendi, it came from Gabriel's pass to Zubimendi, being very snappy, and Zubimendi trying to snap at the ball back to David Raya because he was backpedaling was what gave Brian Mbeumo the opportunity to get to the ball before David Raya, and then of course dispatch it. But this win right here wasn't just tactical, it was psychological. It was in the brain. We needed to understand how we were going to do it. We needed to understand that when we get punched in the face, we need to shake it off and go punch the person right back. I'm not talking about violence here. I'm talking about resilience. I'm talking about us understanding how to actually play football, how to actually take on the opponent's best shot and be able to overcome it. That is what I'm talking about in this situation, because what Manchester United, what we saw here is players demanding the ball, even in tight spaces, even in spaces where they have 6 people around Bruno Fernandes and Bruno Fernandes and Kobe Mainoo. They had 6 players, Arsenal players. They were able to navigate that, pass the ball to Cunha, and actually score the third goal, the winning goal, the deciding goal. Those are ways that you are talking about we are improving. Calm decision making under pressure. The leaders are stepping up and becoming key in moments. By the way, you look at the leaders in Arsenal and all of a sudden you're wondering, how are these people top of the table? Because the leaders, 0 goals for Bukayo Saka, 0 goals for Gyökeres in a certain period of time, 0 goals for Lisandro Trossard in a certain period of time, Martinelli, some goals in the Premier League, 0 in a certain period of time too. The entire starting 11, the entire starting striker position, attacking positions, all had lackadaisical numbers when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net. And this was the reason why I'm talking about Manchester United took a massive shift from the fragile United over the recent years. The team no longer looks emotionally reactive. They look mentally grounded, and that is key to what we are trying to do here. It's absolutely key. And this leads us to the 5th one. Manchester United's identity is finally taking shape. We said so many times about the Manchester United DNA, the DNA of Manchester United, the DNA. We repeated this so many times. However, it is coming out and we are seeing it slowly but surely. Slowly but freaking surely. Man United now want to defend well. They know how to defend. You can now see Manchester United defending and keeping clean sheets. Yes, they did not keep a clean sheet against Arsenal, but who really does? However, they kept a clean sheet against the best striker in the world in Erling Haaland, and they gave Arsenal a run for their money, because how did Arsenal score? An on goal and a scrappy set piece goal that I actually thought there were so many fouls in the set piece, but I did not want to play it because we won the game. They know how to attack now. We are attacking in very, very little fashion. It is just bing, bash, bosh, go, pick it out of the back of your net. Bing, bash, bosh, pick it out of the back of your net. That is the way Manchester United are playing, and it's so good to see. Now, what type of game suits us? That's the key part, because we have played 2 games under Michael Carrick against City and against Arsenal, teams that want to have the ball and teams that want to dominate the ball. But the question is, when we face Fulham next week, where Fulham would want to give us the ball to say, hey, look, do your worst, we are going to actually sit back in the mid block and then beat you on the transition. How do we survive it? How do we play? How do we win that game? And this is the test that Michael Carrick has to show us, because it's a test of, if you can win Manchester City and win Arsenal, then we know you can beat the top teams that can actually come out to press Manchester United. Now, how are you going to take on the role of beating the teams that are going to sit back and not press you? Those are the key things that Manchester United and Michael Carrick has to answer. And if he can answer that, the truth about it is that Manchester United have a good coach on their hands if he can answer that. Now, my final thought in this situation is that this win won't define the season. It won't define the season. I want us to really be clear about this. The win will not define the season. Manchester United didn't just beat Arsenal. They showed maturity, they showed structure, they showed belief, they showed identity. And if this level becomes the standard, United won't just be competing in games, they will start being expected to win them. And if we can be in that position where people expect Manchester United to win big games, we are getting right back to where Manchester United were. And that right there is the beautiful thing about the situation. United won't be competing just in big games. We would actually go in games with the confidence that we have the ability to win them. Now, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the follow button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you guys watch the new podcast. Peace.